Hello and welcome. This is Ragnar's Gate Tarot. I've been putting this off for a longer period of time, and now I just decided to take the cards and go live. So, this is my channel, and I am dedicated to Tarot, the meanings of the cards, and discussions about it. And maybe somebody can learn something from me. I can learn from everyone, of course. I will do like sometimes, and now also can do some free readings and like check what the cards mean. You can ask, and then I can comment if you have something to comment or questions that you want to make. So basic tarot cards are minor cards. For example, we can take the Ace of Pentacles related to the material plane. So it's a minor card. So that's like a less significant card compared to the, for example, major card which we have here is a Judgment from the other side, for example. So would say that they are more serious, like life changing experiences, or like a more life lessons, and there's a more mundane, more daily things concerning the minor arcanes then, basically. So, and depends, of course, how the cards are put, what cards come out on a reading. You relate them to each other. You take some aspect of it. Everybody has, like, there is books about it. There is videos about it, tons in YouTube. You can study and check if you want. I've been doing that. I've been reading some. Then I've been meditating. I've been comparing the cards. I have my own ways to do this, and probably many others have their own ways. But this is like a soft opening of a premiere of my channel. So let's take a card then and see what I think it could mean. It could mean for in our lives. For example, vibes for today. General vibes for today. So yeah, I tried to go and do this for a longer period of time, and I just always seem to be something. So now I'm just coming here. I'm just going forward with it. So you start doing things, and then things start to get done. And in certain things also you kind of let it happen. Bless. So yeah. Okay. So here we have the Knight, Lanttien Ritari. There's in Finnish the descriptions. There's Knight of Pentacles. So there's a black horse, there's a knight, there's red colors, there seems to be a farm on the background, some mountains, it's yellow sky, green under him, and basically it could be related, for example, to the Chariot in some manner, the major arcane, what is there. And it said that this, as you can see, the horse is still. Has some decorations, I think it's in there. It has a green thing in what is this called, like a decoration in the photo, but it seems to be holding this. And for me, this somebody's like, it's you could think that it's looking at it, for example. For me, it's like it has somehow gotten it from somewhere, the pentacle, what it's holding. There doesn't seem to be any hurry in this with this knight. I guess this could be a knight that is like not charging without thinking, for example, in this way. It has a really strong horse. It looks more like for me, like a work horse than a war horse. So I don't know, this would be a knight that guards the farm or something, or is his own place that he guards then, for example. So that could be the thing of all this, for example. So this doesn't seem to be very active. It seems to be like pretty steady on the saddle. So I think this would be, what would be the vibes for the day is like some kind of stability, and like, I think this indicates also like this is not something that is going to be done fast. There's the farm on the background. So I would think that this would give, well, the pentacles in general are for the earth and material things. Exact work could be money, work, health, like concrete things that you can touch with your hands and stuff like this. Property. So the vibe for the day could be something like that. There is, if you wanna achieve something in the material plane, money-wise and stuff, that it's not something that you necessarily can just charge with and you make some like a thing. Of course, somebody can just take someone's money, but if you want to be like a sort of like an honest day's work and earn an honest living, or like to make it like in a proper manner that is like not questionable or like morally questionable, for example. So I think this is what it represents. The vice for the day is like to remind us, to remind that things need to grow, things need to go, and it doesn't necessarily go so easily or so fast that you have to work on them. And this is not, there's the, like I said, the farm is in the background. So basically, what I think is that it's about more like hard work, and also like a appropriate work, that things might not you want to do something, it's not necessarily that somebody will come to pick up from your home and do it for you, that you might have to make an effort. And it could be also like, and it is that some things you have to keep in mind, that you have to keep at it, and you have to like, it has to be consistent in this, like like this. And this would be a knight also who helps the elderly, and like does, I think, work, like I said, daily, repeats the same stuff and expects the results then to come later after like a good day's work. So that's something to remind, that even in this fast-paced world, there are things that are not necessarily there. Just a second, just a second. Okay. Okay, so small pause there. So let's take another card, see what it says. So wives for the day with the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, basically, um, yeah, like to keep in mind that not everything comes fast, and like even if it's portals and all that stuff, there is still things that take their time, and you have to kind of fertilize it and keep at it and like do the right thing. So even if it would be maybe easier to do it in a manner that is kind of cuts corners and stuff. So the Knight of Pentacles, I think it's like an honest knight. Honest knight, more like a knight, not quite the hero knight, but someone who comes to play every night. So then we would have here the page of the wands. So basically wands is fire, is passion, and this kind of things. And like this, he's holding one of the, and you can see like, I think his salamanders in his garments, and have like a red feather or red pants. Even the whole earth where he's standing looks like a desert, or I don't know, like dunes or like mountains. It's pretty dry, so everything suggests on my view like dryness and fire and stuff like this. So basically, as you see, it's having this guy is having the wand like this, and I think it looks like he's estimating something. He's estimating the situation where it's being put. So I would say that this would mean that you have to make sure that things fit, and you have to make sure and estimate that things are good also. Like basically, you could also consider that the page is somehow who brings messages. It could be a young person. Depends totally in where you would be at. What would be what has been asked, and you have guidebooks that tell you some rigid meaning, and you should check these things, I think, and then in the end you will have an idea and an understanding what a card means with other cards and in a specific situation and like this. So basically, I guess anyone can take a card and then take a book and say what it means, and then to say every time it means like this, but that's not the way to go in my view, and I don't think many others do as well. So it could be a young person, it could be a message, it could be many things. But for example, the estimation is like kind of clear in this one, that you are, if so, like, what is this person doing? Then I would say this person is estimating the situation. For example, that seeing how they are how passionate they're about to doing this, or in general, how they would be seeing the situation, how they will see you, some other thing, place, whatever thing. So I think this would be, the estimation would be something like that stands out at the moment for me with this card, basically. And well, let's take another one. Let's see what we can get from here, what comes up. So I think that if that would be like a vibe for the day, like I said, that could be something also to do with that. Keep in mind that you have to see if the shoe fits. You have to see that things are things the way they should be, actually. Also, like to make sure if you have some suggestions of things, to remind that you have to keep an eye on things. Also, this kind of character could be somehow is like an apprentice in some way, maybe not so yet mastered. If you would ask like, how is this, like somebody who is still checking where they stand in certain situation, or if they're in a profession or doing something, that could be also. So let's take one more, see what we get from this one. 8 of Wands. So basically, that could be related to the strength of sort of, and this would be another fire card in that sense also. And well, you see there flying these kind of flying things, but I think this still might not mean immediate action. I think this would be like, even I would consider this could be meaning that you could have to kind of like control a little bit your fire, what is going, that maybe you would have to, maybe that would be in this case like a vibe for the day to if you feel very passionate about something, today might not be the day that you confront someone and put everything on the table, or you kind of like pour everything to someone. So I would say that for me, this would mean that to kind of keep in general some sort of control. And also depending on your character, if you are like a fiery character, that could be a reminder that today might be a day that fire would serve you better to keep contained. And also I would say that the fire is a good servant but a bad master. So if you are just all fire, you should be, I guess, all the elements and not just one. And all that. And by the way, if you feel like it, I have there a link for buy me coffee. So you can buy me coffee, supports me, gives me more opportunities to get better gear, to make better videos, use more time in this, and all that. So if you feel like it, there's a link. Buy me coffee, basically. And I of course do private readings, and you can contact me in ragnarsgatetarot@gmail.com, basically, and then we can agree on the details at the moment. So let's take another one. Sorry, we take this one here. So now we will have Queen of Cups. So basically that queen is like a mother, I guess, always, and then water is the element of the cups, and basically is the feelings. Like it could be also considered like a romantic feelings, like Romeo Juliet style, and anyway, and water is of course strong element in, I guess that could be considered that it is the strongest one. It will go through anything given time, no matter if it's titanium or rock or whatever. Water will erode and it will go through. So basically the softest of elements is the one that will surpass anything, or it will go through anything. So it's funny that basically the most sort of, I don't know, elusive, but you cannot really grab water, but it still is a strange material. No life would be without it here, I suppose. I don't know how it's elsewhere in the galaxy or in the universe, but yeah, it's water. And this is between two, like the stream goes in two here, has a big cup it's looking at, and I think it's like a, of course, like a queen. It's like not quite like the emperor, but similar figure, has a crown and has a like angels put in here. So that would be some kind of mother figure. It would be motherly person, someone who is much into the feeling side of things, I suppose. And that would be not a little bit, if as a person, it would be a person that is maybe is a little bit older already. It's not so young, maybe. If the page is like a really youth, could be like a teenager or even a kid. This is more like a grown-up person, and doesn't necessarily have to mean old. Doesn't necessarily be mother, can be man or woman in a way, even though it's like a feminine kind of character there. But I guess it's the aspect of everyone that has to have the both. And somebody says when you have the both, then it is complete, the whole thing. So I guess for this would be for a wife of the day, for example, in this is also to, if there was the material and the fire and stuff, and then it would be to sometimes good to sit down and actually what I get now is that you would look into your feelings. So you look at, she's looking at the vessel and like the waters are going, but she's looking this one. So it's somehow important for her. and basically here, so maybe it's at this point what I get a vibe from this for the day is to also like you have to hard work and you have to do it sometimes honestly, and then you have that you have to kind of control the maybe the passionate side today, and this for could be like maybe exactly if you do the reminder of the hard work and then um, keeping the fire a little bit like with a lower burner today, means maybe you don't unload everything, so it would be to kind of look into your own feelings. So what do you feel? Because that would basically affect then the fire, I guess, and as well as whatever you do, if you can work like long term and honestly work on something and not to expect results maybe in 5 minutes, because the world is really fast paced in the end. So basically that would be what I think. So there's like cards for the day, vibes for the day. One can of course take one card and then you get what you get from it. You can take I would say that the tarot cards for yes and no questions, for example, is maybe not exactly the best one for this. And whenever you get a reading, by the way, they are not carved in stone. This is, if you make a reading on tarot, this is kind of like showing like if you're gonna, for example, keep doing like this is where it's most likely gonna lead to, but you can always change your actions, and then therefore your future and what happens will also change. So you definitely have a responsibility for yourself to create your own reality, and I think that also is a lot, basically, well, a lot, maybe all, is to do with how do you see the world. Because if you see it's like a pile of brown substance, then you feel like it and you find things that will confirm you this. So if you look at it as a positive thing, and so you find positive signals, and it's gonna fit in a positive manner way you look at it. So there is that kind of. And Carl Jung, who was using the arcanas and the tarot basically as an idea that there will be like this universal arcanes that people know more or less what, at least what is expected of a mother, for example, or a father, which is would be the emperor, mother, the empress, and all these cards. Somehow the pictures tell more than 1,000 words. They give you, like, I think, some kind of universal meaning also in that sense, that there are like shared concepts, I guess, in many things that are not really even cultural bound. So that would be the thing. So very simple stuff, which I use a lot also. I see many use, you have different spreads, but I use a lot. For example, it's very simple, is you take 3 cards, past, present, future. So we take 1, 2, and a 3. So basically, past, present, future would start. So let's see. So in the past, there's now miekkojen ässä in Finnish, which means in English Ace of Swords, which is, I think, actually Ace of Spades for those who have heard, for example, certain heavier music of Motorhead. So that has been an opportunity, like intellectual opportunity. It has been an idea which is not quite formed yet, but there has been a really good idea. This would be like a very good indication that there has been some idea which is not just like a lofty some thoughts, but it has been something that hasn't quite materialized, but there has been clearly, you can see there's a hand comes from the left, that would be from the past. So you could think that it's something that has come from the past, maybe for the actions you have taken or things you have thought, and then has realized that there is something. It's piercing a crown, there's waters, I guess, and mountains on the background. So basically, I would say that in this case and many other cases, this would be, there has been some great idea, I would say also, like great thought, because then there you have a Ace of Wands that is like made more like a fiery like a light bulb eureka moment. But this is like some kind of great thought in that sense. Then but this could indicate that this also not like some really easy way to go, or it's not something that is super easy. Maybe that's why it's like a raw material of mind power or something like this. And the source are air, so maybe it's also a little bit vague, floating in there in the air, that there kind of is this. And then at the moment you would get two, which is kind of funny. It's from 1 2 that now at the moment I would say, like, you have the great idea, but somehow your mind is a mix, you are stuck with it. There's the two of swords, miekka on kaksi. So basically you are stuck with this. It's a stalemate, so you cannot move forward with this idea. It's stuck in your head. It's something is making it stuck. It's most likely in your mind. And I would say that this could be, and most likely is, that you have created the problem for the problem for the idea or the thought or the thing to manifest or to come to being. So basically, maybe you're not honest with yourself. You have not found out everything that this would require, on my view. But you have reached first. You have the like a epiphany or this kind of thing, or like a great idea or like an opportunity, and then now you are stuck with it. At the moment you are stuck with it. So past, present, and then future. Well, as they have shoveled, but now the future brings a betrayal, for example. Could be. This is 3 of swords. There's three swords piercing 1 2 3 the heart. So sort of I sometime I got this idea, which was a little bit more like I was doing some work with the cards for myself to understand better the cards. So basically, I say, for me it was like the mind betrays the heart. That sounds really dramatic, no? So basically that you have felt certain way, but then your mind brings the reason. And this could be, for example, also like that you sort of you are not necessarily betrayed, but let's say that you have this, and like I said, you compare the cards. It depends what you have, otherwise what it is. It's not always the same, and there's a lot of course, like a kind of almost not infinite, but a big amount of different cards that can be wherever. And then it depends on the question. It depends on the reader, who is read to, who is like the one who is asking. The querent, I think, is the name for it. So basically, you have the idea. You are stuck, and then you are stuck, but you will see something, and it might not be all pleasant. So you are not telling yourself something, or you're not being honest with yourself about the situation or the opportunity, idea, whatever it is. But this is not this is still in people's heads. This is in the brain. This is like electric signals going. This is not something that has materials, but you see a reality of this. And if you are yourself not telling yourself or not being honest about this, how it's going to go in the future, sort of maybe, well, it's going to be shown to you. And since there is, for me at the moment, I get 3 cards, maybe the point is that it's not on, if you cannot manage it yourself, it's going to be managed for you. And basically that means that someone else and something else will show you the reality of the situation. Hey, I know it can be like, okay, that was a great idea, but it requires of you something that you might not be ready to do, or then it could mean that, okay, so I didn't quite understand this much, or then it's like, okay, fine, now I understand, this is what it requires, this is what it's about. Or maybe it's just a conclusion for this. That would depend what you have asked in the end, of course, is that this is interesting, of course, 1 2 3, so it's like a sequence in this, so it goes through to this kind of thing. But basically it will be, I get this impression that this would mean that this would be then opposed, like put on you basically what it is So it will be at least clear what was the thought about and what was the idea about, how it could be done, what it would actually require. And if you cannot get past this, it will anyway, one way or the other, you will see the clarity in this. You will see what it is about, basically. So that would be like a pretty, I think, 3-card reading, past, present, future is really powerful. It's pretty simple. Throw depends. I think you can get a lot from this stuff already, like with this kind of cards. There's a billion other things, and depending what would fit. But that's like something like this. Then I have had, for example, for some kind of questions, I have also taken a 1 card, like as the answer, and then 3 cards which can consider to be, let's see, I will show you. So here we go. I would put 1 card here, which is the actual answer, and then 3 cards here. That could be past, present, future, how it seems to be, and then to explain the first. So okay, then the answer would be 3 of Pentacles for this, meaning that basically I would think it's a kind of creative environment. There would be like, you can see there's a guy who is making this project, and the other guys, there's been said that some explanation is that you have like kind of like a people who's going to invest in your project, and they are seeing that, okay, they come to, and you try to maybe convince them to get them to participate in this, and it would be a big project. Like it's a creative atmosphere engine. This would be related to Earth, which is the material things, like the guy is building, I don't know, a chapel, or it's like a big church, or like this kind of thing, basically. But it's also like divided one person here, 2 here, so that's kind of some dynamic there. That could be related to the situation, how it's divided, that there's 2 people for certain thing and 1 person for this. It could be that there's 1 person who is doing the actual work. That's, by the way, studied that in groups and in workplaces, there is like certain people who do most of the work and some others do other things. I don't know. But yeah, that could be like this. So, and to explain for it would be fun enough. The 3 could be related to the death that comes here. And then we have the devil and the star. So I would say that first thing that comes to mind for me for this would be that you have like a minor sort of, well, starting off a big project that doesn't maybe still seem so, but I think the consequences of doing this and how it's going to be done is going to be life-changing. So something that it's kind of, it is, maybe it's something that you are used to, maybe it doesn't seem like so, that it's let's say that it's your work. You have a kind of big customer or big project coming up, and you think that, well, you have done this before, or like, okay, you're gonna present it to your like the investors or something like this, or someone else who's supposed to participate. But the point is like it's much more significant what it looks like or how it feels like. I mean, like you have the death, the devil, and the star. So this will bring about, on my view, like a big change in the end, like a really big change. Death as a card can be the actual death, which I don't get why it wouldn't get this part. Most of the times it's a big change, and it would be like unstoppable. We said that the truth is stronger than death. It will come out always out. You have the devil, so this would be that if it's a serious change, you might have to get like a pretty animal about it, like animal instinct, that it's like already this. I would say that there's a danger that you will get sucked into it like really deep. That could be already like a little bit unhealthy. That could lead to problems already. Also, it is like you have to be like really with this is like and maybe that is the change that is coming, that if you've been a bit more lofty now, it's going to be the time that you kind of, well, the devil can be, like good for bad use. Like sometimes you need the animal magnetism, or like that you really gonna, when you climb the hill, you're gonna need some strength to do it, and maybe this is what will there to help. And maybe it will feel this project could feel also like kind of grim at times. Like maybe, like I said, you could be stuck with it. That could bring about like problems that if it's a lot, and like I said, this is life changing. You would have to keep in mind that if it's a life changing event and a project and what's going to happen, that basically it can bring about not only good things in that sense, that could lead, the devil can be like about addictions and like like animal magnetism. It can mean like sexual things, and these people may get their chained or stuff, although they could at whatever time get out from there, these two who are chained to the pedestal of the devil. And the devil is making like a Vulcan, basically, like if you know Star Trek, yeah. So with the right hand, actually, even like this, like Spock was doing. Fair enough. It's pretty much like that. It's similar. I was reading about those at some point. So to keep in mind that the project might suck you in, that you need to be there. Like it's gonna be something else, but you have to keep your heads up so you don't end up, I don't know, get into drugs to stay awake because there's so much work or whatever could be the problem in this. Or like I said, but the devil is not also necessarily exactly the devil. I think it's Baphomet, which is pictured there, and it's like the animal side of things. And well, can be addiction. It can be like these kind of things, and to many things, addiction to drugs, sex, rock and roll, whatever you do. And then you have the star. So I think this would be that the project and the thing what's happening here is going to be a life-changing event, but it leads to hope, on my view. And it leads to, like, if you go through the change and what is involved there, fun enough, that is 13, 15, and 17. So basically, the major arcanes, this is why I'm pressing them, that you have the answer, and then the explanation is somehow, for me, I get the impression is behind there is really big deals. Maybe it's a personal thing in the end, maybe it for the rest of the world wouldn't be, but for you anyway, it's going to be. Whoever would get this, and the reading would be that would be significant things and not just some small time change things. So, but in the end, that it would, for me, it looks like that it would, if you pay attention, if you end up being with the devil, you will cast the devil out from you or from the situation, or you move on from the devil phase, or when maybe it's like how it needs to be handled in a like a not so super civilized manner even, or something. You will move to this, that you get to the bare basics of things, in a sense that you are naked, like in this is it's like hopeful, and you will become a new you, in a sense that, okay, the death is already changed, but then it leads to certain things. So I would say that this is something that you need to, well, this is not something that you just can indifferently go by. Probably that's not, you don't have that option in this if you would get this. So this would be the thing what I would say about this. And like I said, I make more than happily through here, or we can check through different channels, private readings, not for free obviously, but depending what you want. Like, we agree, and like I said, buy me coffee if you want to support the channel. So basically that would have been kind of surprisingly meaningful things would have been there, or like I said, the earlier reading was with this, that something that looks maybe not so significant, it ends up being super significant for the person who is going to be in a project or in a situation. So that would be the stuff. So let's see. Let's take yet another one card. thing as well. We put still like this, and we would have this, and this, and of course you can take only 2 cards here in the down, or 3. But these are kind of simple things, and you can see as it starts flying from there. So the answer would be, oi, the devil. So how about that? It was shuffle still around. So now that would be interesting. That would explain already a lot. Whatever you ask, the answer is the devil. Is like, then you look at the card, what you get from it. Then the star, maybe I didn't mix it so well after all. Well, there's another one. So now, again, this would be then 4 major arcanes, which, like I said, the significance of them is still, I would say, kind of higher, and like they are the archetypes. Right? This was what the Jung was also using for archetypes. I don't know, what did I say before? So depending on this, it could be that you are bound by something and you are stuck by something, and like you might be in a dark place, or you might be using your like more animalistic instincts to get through something, or this would be a warning that if you don't, depending on what has asked, that would lead to this, and that would, in this case, the explanation, like you have because this is to see signals and to pay attention to the universe, what it shows. They might indicate that you would have to, I would say that this would mean that you are here. Maybe you're struggling with something that's not necessarily all so nice, or maybe it feels nice, but it's not right. You would have to pay attention what's going on to realize the situation. There will be a big change anyway. But in this case, somehow, when it goes star, death, and the moon, this is the devil. So devil, star, death, moon. So basically, by this, how you are going to reason. So you kind of see the light in this situation. You're willing to be bare and naked, like that, to get to the rudimentary basics about it, and that there is a change, but somehow then where it leads to is, I don't know, I would suggest that this could be even something that I am not a substitute for a psychiatrist or a doctor or anything, and this is like for sort of entertainment purposes. This is to give you clarity, and you make your own decisions. I will make mine, but this is like suggesting what could happen. But for example, if it would go like this, that then you are the moon. The moon is mysterious. The moon is a little bit like lunacy. The moon is a little bit like subconscious. So I would say that this would not lead to clarity. This might not, the way how it's done is like maybe you jump from the devil, yes, you're going to be, and you change, but there is something, well, there is 13 and then it's 18. So maybe there is something between you have to think of, like that you cannot, I mean, like the way that it jumps 15, 17, 18, and then 13 and 18. So for me, it seems like, anyway, the devil path, depending again about the question, but sort of like if, anyway, even if you would choose, if it would be something to choose the path of the devil and use the animal stuff, that it seems to be bringing about that you are honest and that you are making a big change, but then you will be stuck anyway. So that won't solve. Maybe it would be actually now to think, depending what have been asked, that this could mean that choosing this path has its benefits. It could get you somewhere. Maybe it gets you the money, the girl, the job, whatever, but that won't be necessarily something that would fulfill you. Okay? So that would have been pretty serious stuff already with all these major arcanes. But hey, so there's a little bit what I do, basically. So ragnarsgatetarot@gmail.com. You're gonna be in touch with me. I'm gonna be live again soon, basically. And like I said, I do free readings sometimes here. And I will check through the cards. I'm more than happy to talk about the cards. Maybe I will come up with something. I have made some research for myself. I will happy to take somebody's comments to talk about it. to comment, like chat about it, and basically, uh, well, I will be back. This was a bit of a like a soft, like I said, this was a bit of a soft premiere. I've been putting it off for some reasons, but I'm happy that I did it, for better or for worse. So basically, hopefully, whoever sees it finds it entertaining or informative. And like I said, ragnarskatetarot@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with me. I'm gonna be back soon, and hopefully I have some intelligent things to say. So be good to yourself, be good in the universe, and I will see you in the future. Bye bye.